Now we've made trailers here before, and we've had good trailers. I think this one really stood out to me, and I'm wondering what you thought. And I don't mean this like from a. I know it could sound like we're patting ourselves on the back. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. But what I am asking is like why. What do you think was more effective about this process that maybe other developers or content creators in general that listen to the show could take away from the process?
Well, I think the lesson that we learned is you really need to devote all of your energy towards one thing at a time. And we've found that in the past we would just say, oh yeah, we're going to work on the game, we're going to hit these deadlines, and oh yeah, by the way, we got to put this demo together, and we'll just kind of capture some stuff, string it all together, and make a sizzle reel out of it. So the fact that we consciously knew ahead of time that you need to promote the game, that's one of the issues with developing games is you're producing and you're promoting at the same time. And so we felt like we were early enough in the process where we could say, okay, we want to make a kick-ass sizzle reel, and this is the time to do it before we really go full-on into production. And so that was our big focus for that month and a half. And it really paid off.
And you can actually see, for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, you can actually now go to our website. We are, by the time the podcast goes live on April 5th, we will have our Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction page at insomniacgames.com up and ready, and we'll have a high-def version and a standard-def version of the trailer there. So you can see exactly what we're talking about. So... what else we could catch up on, too, is we really got a ton of responses on our inquiry request last podcast about the barnyard animals. Maybe talk a little bit about where we're at with that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we got a lot of great responses, and people had proposed stuff anywhere from platypuses, hippos was a popular one, penguins.
Is that platypi?
Platypi? Yeah, platypuses or platypi. I guess it's like cacti.
Yeah.
Or lombaxi. We always kind of struggled. Is it
lombaces?
Lombaces? Lombaxes?
I don't know. I should have asked that at the
We're sticking
zoo.
with lombaxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so we've picked one now, and it's actually been built, and it's going to go and get animated.
Yep.
But we can't say what it is just yet.
We don't want to say what it is just yet, but we do want to say that it is directly influenced by your feedback. We did wait to make our decision until we got all the responses in and tallied, and it will be a direct reflection of fan input. So everyone out there who listened to the last podcast, you had a direct effect on how Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction will look when the game comes out. So that is pretty sweet. That's our first example of how we can make this podcast kind of more interactive and actually affect what we do. So that's exciting for us.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. This is a random question that we have for you guys, too, is we get a lot of fan emails, and one of the most common questions we get is about why don't we have merchandise like action figures and T-shirts and things like that. And so we're doing a little experiment right now. If you are interested in either Resistance or Ratchet and Clank action figures, shoot us an email, send it to podcast@insomniacgames.com with the subject header action figures, and let us know if that's something you're interested in. And can't promise that anything will get done with that, but we do want to kind of get a sense if there is that interest out there, which we think there is based on the emails that we have gotten over the years.
And maybe get a hat with ratchet ears coming off of it.
Now that's a brilliant idea.
There you go. Yeah.
Big fan of that. So anything else going on in the world of Ratchet that we can talk about?
Well, the CGM article came out last month, and then, of course, we got some more exposure on 1UP. And it's just been great to see the response that we've gotten from all of the fans on the images, and the fact that they're actual images from the game. So they're real screenshot captures. So that's been really exciting, and I think that it's really a great experience when you've been working on something, in your dark cave for months on end, and then suddenly the world gets to see it, and you get to see all these responses. So that's been really cool, and I think the whole team has really gotten energized from hearing people's excitement.
Yeah, I don't know about if you would agree, James, but I mean, I remember when we first came out with Resistance, and there was, a fair amount of resistance from people wondering what the franchise was and how it was different. And and having been through Deadlocked as well before that, this is the first time in a while, and on any game I've worked where I've seen more or less universal excitement and praise. Like I really haven't seen the type of critical comments that may have come in the past.
Oh yeah, it's great when you're looking at the various boards and you see people's avatars are captures from the sizzle reel, and there's just all these images being thrown back and forth, and people commenting how awesome it looks. So it's really cool. I think that's getting everyone excited for our next focus test, and so it gets everyone inspired to make the next focus test even better.
It's going to be busy. I
Very
saw
busy.
your focus test plan. It's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. That's one thing that we do at the beginning of each deadline phase is write up a big document of how all the pieces fit together, what pieces we need, and then what is the progression. It's like creating a walkthrough early on.
Sure.
And then that's what the testers use to base off all of the bugs and find out what's missing. And then it makes sure that just little things don't fall through the cracks. And that's typically what happens on a lot of games is towards the end there's all these little pieces that people kind of forget about. Like, oh yeah, by the way, do you have this weapon?
Sure.
Has it been built yet? And so people are like, what? Which weapon?
Yeah, so it's a real, and that's kind of how we work here too. Is like we're such a deadline-driven, task-driven company that sort of reality check really kind of helps.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
The action that you need.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, when you have to cram for your test, and most people, will cram the last day before their test. So
sure.
It's a great motivator.
All right, well, thanks for the Ratchet and Clank Future update, Brian, and now it's time for our mystery guest.